Hey, thank you for watching this video. This is a series I'm starting. We're jumping into Node, so we're going to jump right in just a second. Before I do, I just want to let you know that this is a series I'm trying to do once a week. I'm going to do real short videos, like 15 minutes, just doing, a few concepts at a time. Like today we're just doing a hello world, but I want to make this based on engagement. So if there's something you're looking to learn, something you want to see in Node, whether it's APIs, packages, Discord bots, you name it, leave that in the comments, and I'll try to drive the videos in the, week by week based on those comments. If I start getting no feedback or no one's really engaging, that's going to tell me there's no value in this, and then that's going to be the deciding factor of whether I keep doing this or not. So if there's something you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, this is just the, 101 basic jumping into it. And yeah, I guess we can get into it. If you don't already have Node installed, this is the site you want, nodejs.org. You can see this is their homepage. Should work whether on Mac or Windows. I think this will auto update to your platform. One thing to note, if you don't know about it, there's kind of two things going on. There's Node and then there's NPM. So Node is kind of what you could think of as the actual software to run like your Node files or the JavaScript files that Node executes. NPM is the package manager. It's literally what it stands for, Node Package Manager. It is a separate package. I think you can install and take these separately. However, I think if you do this, you get both of them. And the whole point of NPM is kind of to install and manage those packages of Node. So for instance, if someone else out there wrote like a third-party system to do something with time, like Moment, or if they did something really cool with arguments, whatever it is, whatever package you're looking to use, you can use NPM to get that for you in your project. So I have a really old version. If I swipe over here real quick, this is my editor. You can use almost any editor you want. This is VS Code. It's what I'm using. I like it because I got this terminal down here in the bottom. And you can see if I do node space dash dash version, it says I have version 10.15.0. So it's a little bit of an older version, but that is how you can check and make sure you got Node installed. If you have a terminal, whether that's its own terminal or in VS Code or whatever editor you use, I don't know, PHP Storm's also pretty nice. Some people like brackets or Atom or whatever. Whatever you're into, some people just want Notepad++, and that's fine. But you get a lot of value out of something like this with plugins and IntelliSense and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I'm going to run this just to see if I can update mine to the latest version and kind of walk you through the install process. If you want to see the install process for Windows, let me know. I have a Windows computer around here somewhere. I could probably do it. Otherwise, this is all there is to it. You download it, it opens it up. Yep, you can see right here, it's going to do the latest version of Node as well as NPM. Let's see if that overwrites my current version. Should be fairly quick. Oh, don't look. So yeah, NPM will use that to get packages. That probably won't be today. That'll be when we cover modules and exports and stuff like that. That may be the second or third video, depending on how these go. Already burning time. I don't want to make these super long. I want these to be like short and digestible. So yeah, so after you've gone to their homepage and you've downloaded it, if you're Windows, you might need to restart or something. I don't really know, but let's just try this real quick. Oh yeah, perfect. So I'm up to date now. I'm current, so that's good to know. Again, if you want to see this on Windows, let me know. I can make a video about it. Also, everything I'm doing, just to let you know, is in GitHub. It's going to be open source. So if, even if you get here late, there may be a lot of files here if you're like a month or two later and the series is rolling along. But it should be straightforward enough to where you can still, find the files we're working on. Hopefully, I keep this fairly clean. But yeah, it is open source, MIT license here. You can see I just started a basic project. If you don't know Git or you're not familiar with Git or GitHub, you want to see a tutorial on that, there's tons of them out there. You can probably find a great one. But if you want me to do one, let me know. If you like the format, I will do a Git tutorial. I could probably almost do a series on it, maybe a few videos. But yeah, it's not super complicated. If you can clone this project down and then, commit, push, and pull, that's really mostly what you need to know for for the basics of getting into it. But you can see basic project. I got a get ignore license file set to MIT license, and then a README. We'll be updating this README and filling this out as we go. But for now, step one, just cloning it down, which I already did. I cloned it here. Again, if you want to see the clone process to pull a new project down, let me know. I can do that in a separate video. Otherwise, you don't even have to do this in Git. If you're just working on your local at home, you can just make files. So the first file I'm going to make, just as a good example, is main.js. Now, I'll probably end up moving this file and calling it example1 or something in like a future video, but for now it's just going to be main.js, and you can just write, well, JavaScript in here, right? And we're using JS because it is JavaScript, so Node executes JavaScript files. It could be named anything you want, really. I mean, you could have did index.js, right? And the cool thing is, in a browser you could execute those JavaScript files almost the same. Now, there are some Node stuff that's not going to work in a browser without some special steps taken, but what we're doing right now, especially today, like let's say I want to put my name in a variable, right? I do let name equals, and then stick my name in there. That's JavaScript. You could do that in JavaScript. Now you could do var here, but that's more global, so I want to stay away from that. The standard for locally scoped variables is let. So this is what you want to do, right? So if I also want a number, so let's say I want to do like cash, right? Like I got $4.99 in my pocket. It's probably not accurate. There you go. That's all there is to it. Now, let's say you want to say string equals Node.js rules. And there you go. So you can play variables all you want. When you want to see them on the screen or execute the script, console.log is what you're looking for, right? If you've already done JavaScript, if you're familiar with JavaScript, you've probably used this, right, to get logs to go into your dev tools, right? So if you do an inspect or an F12 and you get like this dev panel here, you go to console, right? Console.log in a JavaScript file sends logs here, right? It's great for troubleshooting. It's amazing for debugging. And it's no different here, right? If I do like a hello world, now obviously we're not going to execute this in a browser. We'll execute it right here. You just do node space and then the file name. So in this case it's main.js, and you can see right there it logged that out. So it basically did like a print on that. Also, let me know if this font's too small. I feel like it should be fine, but if you're on a smaller device, I don't know. And I may take the time to figure out if I can up the font in this editor. But for now, yeah, let's say I want to do some appending, right? Instead of saying hello world, I want to say hello Chad, but I want to append. That's a plus, right? And then you can append variables. You can append other strings, right? If I want to put the exclamation back after that, I can open up another string and do that. And then if I run this, there it is. Now, that's really just the basics of executing a Node file, right? We took a very basic JavaScript file and executed that. There's so much more to this. For starters, we didn't even initialize a project, right? You can use npm to initialize a project, and then that gives you a package.json file, which is kind of like the standard configuration file for like a Node project, which we can do that real quick too, right? If you want to initialize a new project, the very first thing you could always do is do npm space init, and it'll ask you some questions to set it up. So let's see. It'll walk you through creating the package.json, most common items, see npm space help space json for more definitive documentation, use npm install afterwards to install a package, which we'll go over in another video. Otherwise, you can break out to quit. Otherwise, package name, I'm fine leaving it my YouTube Node tutorial, so I'm just going to hit enter. Version 1.0.0. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about versioning for this, so we can leave it as that for now. Description, just say something like, this project is an introduction to Node.js. Ooh, maybe I'll say is an open source introduction to Node.js. There we go. Entry point main.js is fine. Look, it detected my one main file and it said, all right, let's use that. Normally, I think it recommends index.json if you have no file, or index.js, sorry. And that's fine. Test command, I'm not too concerned about it. We're nowhere even close to getting into testing, but we can do tests if you want to do unit tests. I don't mind that at all. Git repository, it already found the Git that it's linked to, so that's fine. Keywords, not really super worried. I'll just type tutorial for now. We can change those later. My name, license, MIT. Is this okay? You can just double check it. If you're not familiar with JSON notation, JavaScript or object notation, you're looking at it now. It's just a slimmer, in my opinion, way superior version of XML. So it's just key value pairs wrapped in brackets, so you can convert that to JavaScript objects fairly easily. And everything looks good. I don't like for the scripts they put a test script in there. That's just an error. It's kind of pointless, in my opinion. But yeah, we can use this for now. And you can see it made this file here. So there we go. I might even just take the scripts out for now, add that back in later. And there you go. So if you do npm install, that'll install any packages. Now I don't have any packages here. We can add some in a future video, but just showing you what that looks like. It should be fairly quick. Yeah, there was nothing to really do. But you can see when you did it, it made a package lock.json file. That's expected. Usually, for the most part, you just leave those alone if everything's working right. And yeah, it's not even too often you'll need to edit your package JSON, because this should be edited by npm every time you install a package or remove a package or do something like that. So with that, back to the main JS. You can see we did some appending. We got some variables. The other thing you can do, you can also do a console error. Like if you want to force like an error, like let's say you have some sort of if or something, console.error also works, right? You can say this is an error message. And if you do this in a browser too, these dev tools, when you get a console error, you can see here these are warnings, but an error, I don't know what I'm looking for, but if you do an error in here, you'll get more details with it as opposed to like a standard log. And you can see here in the console output, it just did, just a regular log of it. But I believe you get like the stack trace and everything in the browser when it detects it. Yeah, there's definitely some value to doing console.error. Other things you could do too, instead of just appending, you can also do like something like this, say cache, and then do a comma. Instead of appending it, you can actually just output the object or the variable. Because what's going to happen here, if this cache wasn't just a number, let's say it was an object, it would actually dump that object out as well. So you can see here it just dumps out 499, right? But you could do so much more than just strings and numbers, right? You can do my object equals, and give yourself an object. Maybe give myself a name property on this object, cache property, and we'll just use that cache variable we created up above. That's cool. Language, obviously it's Node. And see, so now if we dump this object, nope, you say me, and I will say my object. You can see it dumped that object and all of its data out. So that's also a really nice debugging tool if you need to debug anything or you're testing or you get stuck on something. So this is all I really wanted to cover in the first video, just a real basic hello world. We got Node installed, wrote a basic script, messed with npm just a tiny bit, but mostly, we just did our hello world, did some variable play, declared an object as well. I guess the last thing I can mention is this does support arrays too, right? If you want to do a string array, you can do arrays. So it's not hard typed, which means these arrays can even mix integers, floats. I don't know why you would do it, but you can. You can even do characters. Yeah, you can even do objects, right? An array of objects. So all these data types are supported. Super fun stuff. Hopefully you guys are excited for this. I know I am. Again, I'm only going to do this as long as people are engaged and care. And I really want to tailor the content to what you want to see. So if there's something you want to see, do not hesitate to give me a comment. I'll make a video, like I said, I'm going to try about once a week, maybe more, maybe less, depending on how my schedule is. And that's really about it. If you enjoyed the content, please give me a like, and I'll do more. Like I said, I don't mind doing just a regular JavaScript series or a Node series, PHP, Ruby, you really name it. Heck, give me a reason to write C++. I haven't done it in a while, but I'll do it. My background is I've been an engineer for the past 10 or so years. So I've worked in a few different languages, a lot of systems, mostly web-based, but not entirely. So, yeah, throw me some curveballs if you want. I'm looking forward to it. And thanks again.